12th grade. That's in high school. So I don't know if any of your brothers or siblings, my sisters, your grandma works there. She teaches there. Oh, she doesn't pass it. So I'm in 12th grade, and I work with studying neurons. Yeah. Kathy, who? No, I do not.
Well, you must know Mrs. Kelly.
I do know Miss Kelly. Yeah.
She's in high school and she's in junior.
Oh, really? Interesting. Okay. So I work with and study neurons in a laboratory. So this is the laboratory I work in. It's called the Neuroscience Mount Icon School of Medicine Neuroscience Laboratory. And these are actual mouse neurons that I took a picture of, and I count them and I study them.
Wait, hold on a second. You're in high school.
I'm in high school. So how do I do that?
Wait, he's in high school, right? So he's supposed to. Wait, did you tell them you went to Meadow Drive?
I did. I went to Meadow. I didn't tell them, but I did go to Meadow Drive many, many years ago.
So Sam's still in high school. One day you're going to be there. Sam, in high school, is able to work with a doctor who studies neurons, so he can learn how to study neurons. And he didn't even go to college yet.
So what is important about that? I got curious about neurons, and so when hi Leo.
He's gonna
So-
stay for a few minutes.
Oh my
I
goodness.
worked with him too this year. That's his big
Leo, what are these? Remember when I showed you this picture? They're neurons. So take a seat. Sit down.
You stay for a few minutes. I'll stay with you.
All right.
Yeah, I'm so glad that Leo's here.
So it's important to understand that I got curious, and I said, okay, I'm going to control what I'm curious about. For a second, I want everybody right now to point where your neurons are. Where are they? They're inside your brain.
In your
They're in your head.
I just.
That's great. So your neurons, you control them. They're your neurons, okay? So I need you to know that nobody else is controlling your neurons. You are in charge of what your neurons do when they fire. If you give up, are you supposed to give up on your neurons?
No.
Can you give up?
No.
Can you?
No.
No,
Do you have the
try
choice
your
to
best
give up?
Figure it out.
Yes, so you get a neuron for that.
What'd you say?
You try your best and you figure it out.
But can you give up if you choose?
No.
Can you if you choose?
No.
No, you
You can.
Well, you can,
Yeah,
but
you can-
if you
you-
keep
that's your
trying
choice.
enough,
It's your choice to get to give up. It is your choice, though.
So it's your choice to give up, but you're not supposed to. Because if you're curious about something, I didn't give up. And I kept emailing that guy. I said, I want to be in that lab. And they let me in the lab. And so now I get to look at and study the neurons in a mouse. Can someone tell me, do you know what an amygdala is? Did they tell you about that? What does it do? The neurons are firing. I see it. Do you want me to go to someone else or stay? Okay, yes.
The amygdala, it
Controls your emotions. Did you have something else to add?
It controls your,
It's the same thing. Your emotions, yes.
it does how you behave.
It controls how you behave. So these are the neurons in the amygdala of a mouse. And so I look at them and I see why the mouse behaves the way it does.
It's kind of beautiful.
It is kind of beautiful, all the different colors. It's very interesting. And so I'm very curious still about the neurons in your amygdala and the rest of your brain. Any questions about that? Yes, Sam.
What do you mean by a mouse?
A mouse. So you know a little animal, a mouse?
Yeah.
So-
That's what it looks like. Oh,
So why do scientists study mice? I know that you get curious about the mouse, but is that the end goal to learn about the mouse?
Not the end goal. So the mouse is our starting point to understand how the human amygdala works. But first, because the mouse is simpler, the mouse is smaller, doesn't have that big of a brain, so it's easier to understand. And then we're going to grow, and we're going to see how the human amygdala works. All right. Yes.
Why are the mouse neurons colored?
Why are the mouse neurons colored? I'm going to answer that after I give you a neuron because you were very curious about that. That's a very good question. So, these are actually the same picture of different, this is actually the same picture with different colors on it. And so the colors tell us what proteins are being produced. Now what that means, the neurons produce a special type of information. And so I colored this neuron red and these neurons blue because they give off different types of information. Does Does that make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. So, let's carry on. Yes, you have a
How
question?
did you know that they carry different information?
So, different studies. I got curious. I read books about neurons. I looked online. There are different papers on the websites that you can find information about neurons. So, what are we going to talk about today? So, I said this before. We're going to talk about neurons, curiosity, and problem solving. All right. So, tell me, what is a neuron and what does a neuron do? What do you guys know about neurons? Start with you.
A neuron,
A neuron helps you think. So that's probably the most important thing a neuron does. It helps you think. And your neurons just worked right now to come up with that answer. Who else knows things about neurons? In the back.
that the neuron help you connect well, if you make a mistake, then they pop and then you grow your neurons.
You grow your neurons. Yes, so your neurons grow and you understand things. You know anything about neurons? I tell you a lot about neurons. No? All right, I'll come back to you. I do, yes. Do you know anything about neurons?
Yeah, they connect when they get smarter.
They connect when you get smarter, so that's very important. Yes.
It helps you be smarter.
It helps you be smarter. So you get a neuron, and because of nepotism, I'll give you a neuron too. Yeah?
Wow.
So, Sam, I'll get you right now. Sam.
That it tells information about the body.
Yeah, so your neurons connect to different parts of your body. So they actually go down your brain stem and down your spine and connect to your body. So yes, you are very excited.
That the neurons grow when you make mistakes, and after you make a mistake, they come to connect, and when they connect, they help you remember things.
Yes, so that was a lot, and that was very good. So I'm going to give you a second neuron for that. So, did everyone hear what he said? When you make a mistake, even if you mess up, your neurons grow. You get smarter.
Especially when you mess up.
Especially when you mess up. You are getting smarter, and when you mess up, what do?
Don't give up.
You don't give up. Alright? You don't give up. And so you get that second pop and you get smarter and your neurons connect. Yes.
I know that that part connects to another neuron's front part,
Wow.
Yes.
and that's how it sends signals to your body.
Exactly. So that's awesome. So let's see if there's a better picture. So here. So these parts connect. These are called dendrites. That's a big science word. And synapses. And they connect to different neurons. So a neuron, this part of the neuron is going to connect to this part of the neuron. And they send what's called neurotransmitters, which are like letters. So you know when you send a letter to your friend or something? So you're going to send like letters to the other neuron, and then they connect to other neurons. So we're going to keep talking about that. But it's important to know to make that connection to share the information. So that's very good. So, what do I know about neurons? Neurons are cells that make up the brain tissue. Now, the tissue is not like the tissue you blow your nose with, but your brain, we call that brain tissue, and the neurons are like bricks that build the walls of the school. The neurons come together and build your brain. And so you have all these little tiny neurons coming together to build your brain. So, they make connections. Like I said before, the big scientific words, dendrites and synapses, are like hands. And they like hold each other's hands to talk to each other. Right? Then they send information. So they have electricity. Yes, there's electricity and chemicals that they send back and forth to each other to help you think. And then finally they can change. So your neurons can change as you grow, as you get smarter. So when there are different ways to think about something. Alright, so we're going to talk more about that with a road. There's different ways to get places. Awesome. So, are there any questions about the neuron? How they work, what they do? Any questions? Yes.
So how do they change?
How do they change? So they change the connections. So if you hold his hand, and then you say, okay, now I have to change, and you hold someone else's hand, so you get smarter.
Can a neuron connect onto the head, like the back, or does it like go in a line? Like the head can go the back of the neuron, and then a foot can go in
Exactly. So it makes like a chain, and that's how you think and you get smarter. So that's what happens in your brain. This is just one neuron, but they connect to other neurons. Last question, yes. So your neurons don't grow other neurons, but they connect to other neurons. And you had a question, sorry. Okay. I'm going to answer that in a second, but these are all great questions. I should be giving out neurons. Hey, friend over here.
Would you like me to help you give some out
Oh, that'd be great.
while you
Thank
go?
you. So what was your question again? How do neurons connect to other neurons? So like I said before, the neurons connect, so they like hold hands and they share the information together. And scientists right now are asking the exact same question that you're asking. How do the neurons talk to each other? So maybe when you grow up and when you get in high school or older, you'll answer that question out of curiosity. So stay curious, and I'm going to give you a neuron for that question too. Yes?
I have a question for neurons. So, whenever you die, like, do they zap or do they like all unzap? Or do they
Die?
disappear? Yeah.
Oh, when you die. So there's you're done thinking, and so whatever happens after that, nobody really knows. But yeah,
I guess
that's a
they
good question. I'll give you guys a neuron for that too. She's gonna be giving a neuron.
Help you out.
Do they escape from their brain?
Ooh, that's a
I don't know.
great
That's something
question.
you have to answer when you become a scientist.
Ah,
I think they escape from their brain so someone else can have like.
Maybe. I don't know.
Or maybe it sleeps like
Yes.
a robot. Change color.
That I got the same question over there. So the neurons look like they're colored, but they're actually not. They kind of are gray and some are see-through. They're really super tiny, so it's hard to see what color they are. But they don't change color, but they can change where they're connected. So that's a neuron for her as well. Yes.
What does this middle part?
So that is called the nucleus of the neuron.
That's what I was gonna say.
That's what you were gonna say, Sam. You're smart. That's Sam. All right. So that's the nucleus. That's kind of the brain of the neuron. All right. And so that is where the neurons kind of control. Okay. Yes. It looks like a flower, kind of.
It looks
I'm
like
not sure.
roots.
That's just the way.
The flower.
That's just the way it was
there's a
designed.
lot of curiosity
That's
in
a
here.
curiosity.
Amelia.
All right. Yes.
So like can you if you have a microscope and you see in your head, can you see your neurons?
So what I actually did was with this picture, we took this picture with a microscope, a big microscope and a special computer. So if you take a microscope and you can look inside your brain, it has to be a very special microscope, but you can actually see the neurons. Yes.
Do the neurons connect from up here?
So this part of the neuron connects to this part of the neuron. You have a question?
What is the brain of a neuron made of?
What is the brain of the neuron? Okay, so what are neurons made of? So I also got this question. I'm going to tell you guys a big science word. Phospholipid bilayer.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait. Anybody want to take a risk and try to say that word? Don't say it again.
I'm not going to say it again.
Biscofiler?
Say it. I love it. Thank you for taking that risk. No, but it's but not bad. Wait, one more time before he says it again. Try it.
High school, bisco, ice school.
Nope. But I love the risk taking. Want to try it? Say it again.
So, phospholipid bilayer.
Try it again. Who wants to try? Who wants to take a risk? You're growing your brain.
That's
Better.
the closest one.
One more time. You guys are getting smarter. Everybody together. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3.
Phospholipid bilayer.
Wait. I
So
thought I
that,
knew everything.
that's
Yes,
like
I
the
know.
skin of the neuron. There's some other parts of the neuron. You have the dendrites, the synapses. Here you have an axon, and on the axon you have a myelin sheath. You have a lot of different parts of the neuron, and they all work together to make you smart. All right, we have a lot of questions. It's very good that you guys are curious. Yes.
Are there parts of the neuron? Oh, I was gonna say that.
As a part of what? Sorry, repeat that.
Are there parts of a neuron's brain?
Other parts of a neuron's brain. So the The nucleus has what's called DNA in it. Does anyone know what DNA is?
Oh,
You know what DNA is? Yes.
DNA is basically what you're made of.
So basically what you made of.
I know what it means.
What does it mean?
Deoxyribonucleic acid.
Yes.
Wow.
Deoxyribose nucleic acid.
That's
So
another
that's
one.
a whole nother conversation. But that was a very good job, Sam. All right. So we're just gonna finish up with these questions. Yes.
Can a neuron ever break?
So neurons can break sometimes. That's why you have to be strong and keep practicing what you're learning, and so you don't break your neuron connections. Yes.
Is there a limit to how many neurons you can break?
So yeah, it
Use
feels
the
like
number.
there's no limit.
You know why?
Because they're so small. There's so many. You keep learning. You keep making connections. There's no limit to how many connections you can make. You can make trillions, infinite amount of connections. Infinity amount of connections. It keeps going. You seem like you have a small head, but your connections. Each of these hold hands with hundreds of other neurons. Great. Yes.
Do neurons ever get different colors?
So that's a great question. I said before, neurons don't really get different colors. They're kind of see-through actually, because they're so small.
I think he edited.
Yeah, when I showed you the picture with the different colors, I have what's called a dye on it, so it's easier to see. All right, so we're gonna keep going. You guys have so many questions. I know. Yes.
Does this part have connections? Like this part gets the information and then it's sent down this line? Because what does this part do?
So this part, okay, I'm gonna say some really big science things right now. So the axon, which is called this part, is kind of like a wire that has electricity on it. So if you just send the information from here, it's not going to be strong enough. You need this part. Does anyone know what amplify means? It means to get bigger, yeah?
Or get bigger or make things louder.
So make things louder. So you need the information to get bigger and louder. So when the information, the electricity and the chemicals go through this axon, this wire, there's actually fat on it, the myelin sheath, and those help it to be bigger and louder. So this is the part that you actually grow. When your neurons grow, this is the part that you grow, so the connection gets stronger. That was a great question. All right. You don't know what I just said? It's okay. You're going to be curious about it. Yes. Can neurons bend? So yeah, I guess they bend in your brain. Yep. So neurons, so neurons sometimes stretch. The longest nerve that you have is actually from the top of your head to the bottom of your leg.
Wow. It's actually a nerve.
Yeah, it's a nerve. So nerves are made out of neurons. Yes. How do neurons help you think? That is a big question. So the neurons connect, like we said. You get curious, they pop, they buzz, and they zap. They connect, and so that helps you think and helps you be curious about other things.
Maybe, yeah, so that's a great start.
That's a great start into what we're going to actually talk about right now. So I know you have tons and tons of questions. You can ask me right after, but let's continue with this. So, getting smarter starts with curiosity. You have to be curious to get smarter. So imagine. So this is just, you guys are imagining that each of your neurons are a city. Alright, so this is one neuron, and this is one neuron. And the people in this city can look at these people, and they get curious. What are some things they get curious about? How many people are in the city? What are they doing in the city? What else? Yeah? How many buildings are in the city? So they can get curious about a lot of different things. So what do they have to do to get smarter, to fix that not fix the curiosity, but to answer their questions? Yes. What do they have to do? They have to explore. What do they have to do? Yeah. No, you. Yep. Okay. What do they have to do? What do two neurons have to do to answer a question? Yes. send messages. How do they send messages? Study and yes.
They have to connect.
They have to
Oh,
connect.
look at that. So we're in
That's
the
what you're
cities.
gonna say.
They
So
want to
Guys,
connect.
two cities.
They want to go and see what
They want
they
red.
want to know.
The neurons want red. He already has 5.
Yes. So, my friend, that's what you're gonna say. So you can get in there. I'm sure you're gonna say that. So the two cities have to connect. So this is the problem. How are they gonna connect? How are the two neurons, the two cities, going to connect?
So, Sam, what you're saying is the second when you get curious, that's just the beginning of learning.
That's just the beginning. Yes.
Because that means you have a problem. That means there's a challenge. But if you stop there, do you continue getting smarter?
No.
Do your neurons look to connect if you
No.
just stop at, I'm curious.
If you give up,
No.
you
Do you
stop.
need that curiosity part to start getting smarter?
Yes,
You sure
so
do.
if
That
you-
flashes the neuron.
If you give up, then you don't grow your neurons.
Right.
Yes.
If you stick on the challenge, then you grow your neurons.
Wow. You
Great.
are
So
getting smarter.
I need you to think about real life right now. Not right now about neurons. The two cities, which are neurons, have to connect. How do two cities connect?
I'm thinking about the neurons, like maybe
So thinking, yes.
zapping.
Zapping.
What
But
would
think
you
about
do
real life.
if
What
you
would
were
do?
the person in that city and got curious about the people in that city and you wanted to know more about them? What would you do?
You would go visit them.
You go visit them.
Oh,
But how do you go visit somebody?
Connecting.
Connecting. How do you connect with some people in cities?
use your Meadow High School.
Want to go to somebody else? Or you gonna think?
To talk to.
Okay.
Yeah,
how
but
do
they
you
can't
talk?
talk to them. There's
You can't
nothing
talk to
there.
them.
I don't see any connection
You
yet.
have to send messages.
Yeah, but how are you doing
Send
that?
messages.
Uh-huh.
You send messages on your phone.
Oh,
you can do that.
You can
Alright.
call them.
Connect.
Connect how? How do you connect?
What
two
would you
cities?
do?
You
What
hold
would
hands-
you do?
You would go to different cities and bring everyone to the other city so that everyone can know about the other city, and then they could connect the cities by building the wall into the city.
Okay, so you're building something. So what are we gonna build? Yes, Sam.
A bridge.
A bridge, but
That's a big bridge.
That's a big bridge to get to another city. What else? What's something a little simpler than a bridge? But you're on the right track. You're very close. Yes. Dinosaur shirt. Yes.
You could build more buildings than they can.
Like Minecraft.
yes.
What?
You could make a boat.
There you go.
Ooh,
Oh, he
that's
got
not
it.
simple. We're asking for a simple answer.
It's
But
just
you
a
know
little-
what, Sam? What the coolest part is? They just came up with a ton of answers that you didn't even think about.
I didn't even think
That
about
I didn't
those.
even think about. You were thinking a road. But there's actually a lot of answers, a lot of ways to solve the same.
That's great. So yes. So there's a lot of different ways you can solve the problem. You came up with all of them. But I was thinking that you can build a road. So we just solved that problem. To connect the two cities, which are neurons, you can build a road. So this is going to start building a road, right? But there's a river in the way. Do they just give up and stop building the road? Say it together. Do they just give up and stop?
No.
If they stop, then what are they going to do? They're not going to answer their question.
It's a video, yeah.
Exactly. They're just going to be like, wow. So, what do?
You can make a bridge.
You can make a bridge. Awesome. So, no, they don't stop working to connect their neurons. They make a bridge over the river. Awesome. So, So, you can make a bridge over the river to connect the two cities. That's great. So, they got smarter by connecting their cities. Connecting their neurons got them smarter. They didn't give up. They answered the problem. They said, we can build a road. You can text message with each other. You can build a bridge. And then when they hit the river, they didn't give up. They kept going. They said, okay, now here's a problem. They connected their neurons, and they made a bridge. And so now that these neurons have connected, this picture is showing you can connect to other cities, which are other neurons. And that's how you grow your brain, and you keep getting smarter.
So Sam was saying before that he came from Manila High School, and then he came to Meadow Drive. He took his car because he's old, and when you're a senior in high school, you'll be able to drive even when you're in high school. So So when he got here, he took a road. When he goes back to Mineola High School, does he have to take the same exact road? Or are there other ways he can get?
There's other ways. Neurons have different paths to connect to other neurons.
Precisely. Yes.
So there doesn't only have to be one way neurons connect. The more thoughts you have, the more curious you get, more roads come. They can all lead to the same place. But then, if he decides to go a different way to Mineola High School on a different road today, he can get to the high school, but could he also get to Target? Could he also get to Florida?
Yeah.
Sure he could. He can go anywhere he wants to. He just has to take different ways. And that's what happens in your brain when you're making the neuron connection.
Can't go to sleep.
So we only have a couple minutes. We'll go right into it. We'll go right into our pencil.
Awesome. So now we're going to get curious, guys. We're going to give you an opportunity to get curious.
All right, who's curious about getting curious?
All right. I'm so curious about being curious.
So,
Yes. Who has a question?
How do you get curious?
Neurons
Where do the neurons fit in your brain? What color?
all over your brain. Like I said before, the neurons make your brain.
they make your brain.
How do they connect all the way over onto your other part of your body?
So they all connect and they make a big line.
All the way down.
Yeah, so like I said before, your neurons grow as you get smarter and they get stronger together.
So, Ms. Cassell, I'm wondering, we're going to do an activity on getting curious, but we're not going to talk about neurons. But I think that our friends are such learners that they have so many things. So if you find time today or tomorrow for them to make, like maybe they could make a list of their questions that they're curious about neurons, and then we can send them to Sam, and then he could look them over, because I think even when we leave today, they might even have more questions.
I agree.
And that's what you guys are learners. You asking all of those questions means that you know what it takes to get smarter. Now we're going to give you a challenge. Neurons are really interesting because there are things that we don't know everything about. But now I'm going to give you something you probably have never even seen before. Something's like so different, so crazy, that you might have even more questions about it. Are you ready to see what it is? Whoa, that's really, 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 no? No? You know that? You know what that is? So, so you're not telling me that it's something new and exciting?
That's huge.
We are going to make it new and exciting. This is going to be your job.
Who can make it?
No, we're not going to make it. We want you to take this everyday, ordinary object, and I'm going to give you 3 minutes to come up with as many curious questions about this object as you can. But your question has to start with one of two things.
There you go.
When you're marveling about this object, you have to ask yourself, what if or how? So each one of your questions has to start with either what if or how. Does everyone understand? You can work by yourself. You can work with a partner. You can work by yourself, then work with a partner. But you only have 3 minutes. So, when we were in Miss Brennan's class, they came up with like 60 questions. At least. Yep, in 3 minutes. Each, you guys think you could do that? No, not each student. But all together. So, come on up. I'm going to give you post-its, and you may have well, you might have a lot of questions. Find a pencil. Find a place that you want to go so that you can be comfortable. If you need more post-its, come to me. If you want to share your post-its, that's okay too. So you can be next to somebody, because being curious is helpful when you're brainstorming with someone else. If you need more, just ask a friend. Some people have more than others. No big Everybody in a comfortable spot, ready to go? What do the both questions have to start with? Either
What if, how?
what if or how. All of the questions have to start with what if or how. On your mark. Is it okay to ask questions of other people? Is it okay to use their ideas and try and to make your own? Yes. It's okay to work together. It's okay to work alone. It's okay to do both. On your mark. Get set. 3 minutes. Go. As many questions as you can. Write them down, write them down, write them down.
Okay, I have one. Yeah, where are you going?
We're asking how.
Let's see what you got. Okay, second question. Let's use your colored pencil.
What if or how? It has to be about the pencil. It has to be about the pencil. It has to be about the pencil.
Why?
Because it
Let's
does.
see.
It has to be about the pencil. Well, write that question down. Keep going. As many as you can. As many as you can. One Post-it per question. Keep going. Don't talk to me. Keep going. Don't.
It's a peanut.
What are you going to say?
Is a nerve bigger than a pencil? Wait, I did something else. What is a pencil? You're talking to me. What? No, I actually thought that idea too.
Alright, Sam.
Here, I'll tell you mine. I thought like, how do they make the middle? I already have, how do they make the points?
It brings you to another level.
I don't wait.
I love it.
Okay, next one.
Keep going. Keep going. Hey, let me look at my timer. 1 minute left.
So many questions. I love this.
Curious about a pencil. Who knew?
What do you guys think about?
Keep going. You have
Oh, all of your hands are so full of
So you can do this.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I only have two more. How does it draw?
I love it. We should turn everything
Okay, wrap your question up. Stop, come all the way, and then hustle back to the rough. When you come, can you please put your Post-its on the board around the pencil, not on the pencil, but around it. Go ahead, bring your Post-its
Come on
up.
up, guys.
Stick them up there.
Learn it.
Vincent, what are you doing?
Stick up. Put your Post-its on.
I want to wear my name on
No, don't write your name. We don't want your name.
Anonymous.
We don't want your name because many people's ideas, sharing the ideas, and just wondering
Are you
about
showing my
everybody else's.
Post-its? No way would you be. Red. I did this. I did all of them.
Pick them up, Lola.
Wait, 3, 4,
All right,
5.
don't let's not worry about being
Wait,
because actually one around the
3,
pencil.
4, 5, 6,
We don't want
7.
anything lower.
That's 7. Wow.
Camera.
I used all of mine. How do they put it together? Oh, hi.
All right, have a seat. Why don't you put your Post-its? Sit on the rough.
I got, oh, keep Oh, hi. Hi, Meadow.
My friends, on the rug.
Oh, we're videotaping.
Okay, ready?
We're learning about a pencil.
Everybody take a seat on the rug.
Class.
We're learning about this.
Class.
Yes.
Make your way to the rug quietly. And
We're
three,
learning about
half
neurons.
ways away from the camera. 2 and
Hello.
1. Full body listening.
We're in our original spots. I did 7. We did 2.
So
We only did 2.
Wow.
So, in 3 minutes, you guys came up with about 30 questions about a pencil. And I bet you if we gave you even more time, you would come up with more.
40.
You got curious about a pencil. And as I'm looking at these, and Miss Casella is going to look at these questions with you further, I bet you guys have talked about Teddy Roosevelt.
Yes.
You know how he had asthma?
Yes.
You know how his parents brought him outside because they
Yeah.
wanted him to get fresh air?
Yes.
Teddy Roosevelt, just because he was outside, got curious about a lot of the things he experienced when he was outside. And he didn't just stop there. He asked questions about that, which led to him making big changes in the world. Just asking a question about something that seems so simple could lead to much bigger things for you. It leads to getting smarter, but you know what? It also leads to you changing the world. So you guys are going to look at these questions, and you guys are going to see if it sparks new ideas to solve bigger problems. And that all just came from a pencil. So, you want to wrap up? I want to take a picture.
You guys have been so great. Thank you so much for allowing me to come to your classroom.
Thank
talk about
you.
all
Did you guys
the
just get smarter?
questions were so amazing. All of you just got so much smarter. I'll get to you in a second. But you guys were fantastic, amazing. I can't wait to see you change the world. All right.
Can you guys get in front of you so I can take a picture with you and Sam?
Everyone on peace out. Oh, come on.
Yeah, of course you can.
It's been me too.
Do you want to get in
So you're on, yes.
Sure, I'll get him one. Let me get him.
Harlan, I can't see you.
Oh, I think some people can.
My friends in the front, just get on your knees. Kneel down. Okay. 1, 2, this way. 3, say pop.
I grew my neurons.
How about this? I want to just, I'm going to say congratulations, and I want you to just say, we just got smarter.
We just got smarter.
Do it again. 1, 2, 3.
We just got smarter.
Can I get in one picture?
Yes, go. Stay. Freeze.
Peace.
You know what, Sam? I
Freeze.
just had people say, can I keep some Post-its and write more questions over during
Oh,
recess?
that's great. Of
Wow. We are motivated. I love it. Nicholas.
Nicholas, come on, get in the picture.
1,
Did you
2, 3. Beautiful. One more.
Oh,
All right,
peace.
my friend.
Thank you,
Big thank